Welcome to my channel, Crochet Shades of Jade, where I'll be teaching you how to crochet this granny square. For supplies, you'll need 4 colors of yarn, whichever you like. I chose these ones. And then you'll also need a stitch marker, some scissors, and whichever size hook you'd like for whichever your yarn takes or whatever gauge you're trying to get. So follow along and we'll start up. Row 1, we are going to do a magic ring, or you can do like a chain 3 and work into that, but I like to do a magic ring. And we are going to start with a double crochet, or you can start with a chain 3. I like to do a single crochet and then build on that with another single crochet. By the end of this round, you should have 16 double crochets total. I'm just going to do a couple here with you guys if you want to follow along. Moving on to round 2, you're going to take your second color and we are going to join at any top of any double crochet, and we are going to chain 1 and do a single crochet in the same stitch. Okay, and then on the next one we're going to yarn over, work into the next stitch, and we're going to do a 4 double crochet bobble stitch. So if you don't know how to do a 4 double crochet bobble stitch, just follow along here. You can even slow the video down if I'm going a little too fast for you, but pretty much it's all 4 unfinished double crochets put all together, and then you yarn over and pull through all 4 and it makes a little bubble, which is called a bobble stitch. And then in the next stitch we're going to do a single crochet, and we're pretty much going to be doing that over and over until the end of the round. So it's going to be bobble stitch, single crochet, bobble stitch, single crochet. So at the end you should have 8 bobble stitches and 8 single crochets. Make sure you guys are counting, because not in this specific project, but I've forgotten to count before and have gotten all the way to the end of a project and realized that I'm missing a couple stitches here and there. So don't be that person. Anyways, make sure you're counting. Moving on to round 3, we are going to get our third color, and you're going to find a single crochet and you're going to join your yarn there. Okay, so make sure you get your single crochet, put your hook in, grab your third color, and you're going to pull through, chain 1, and we're going to single crochet, and then we're going to stack another single crochet on top. Then we're going to yarn over and do another double crochet, so it's a 2 double crochet cluster. Okay, so you work half of a double crochet, yarn over, half of another double crochet, and then yarn over through both. Then we're going to chain 3 and we're going to do another one. So we're going to do a double crochet, but only work half of it, and then another, and put it all together, and that's a 2 double crochet cluster. And then we're gonna skip the bobble stitch and we're just gonna keep working the same steps. So a 2 double crochet cluster, you can follow along to make sure you're doing it right. Like I said, slow the video down if you need to. Chain 3, and in the same stitch another 2 double crochet cluster. So at the end of this you should have 16 2 double crochet clusters and 8 3 chain spaces. All right, we're now on round 4, and we're going to grab our 4th color and find a 3 chain space, and we're going to join our yarn there. We're going to start with a double crochet. So you're just going to chain 1 to join the yarn, and then do a single crochet, and then work in that front post of the single crochet and turn into a double crochet. We're going to do another double crochet, and then we're going to do a treble crochet. Then we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to do another treble crochet. And then we're going to do a double crochet, another double crochet. We're going to chain 2, and we're going to slip stitch in between the 2 double crochet clusters. So right here, not the chain 3 space, but right in between the 2 double crochet clusters going into the next one. Then we're going to chain 2 again, and we're pretty much just going to repeat what I just did. So that's 1 petal, so it's double crochet, double crochet, treble crochet, chain 1, and you're going to repeat. Alright, going into round 5, we are going to join our yarn at the tip of our petals in that chain 1 space, and we're going to chain 7. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we're going to do a 3 treble clusters. So you're going to yarn over twice, work, go through 1, 2 times, don't finish the treble, yarn over twice again, go through 1, 2 times, and then yarn over twice, go in that same hole again, go through once, go through a second time, and then you should have 4 loops on your hook, and you're going to pull through all 4 of those loops. You're going to chain 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to do another one. So another 3 treble cluster. So just follow along with me here. You can slow the video down if you like. So this is what's building our corner space. So we're going to chain 3 again. And then we're going to do a treble crochet in that same stitch. So this is what starts our corner. Okay. And then we're going to do a 3 treble cluster in the next petal. Then once you finish that, we're going to chain 2. And we're going to do a half double crochet. Sorry, tiny intermission there. Then we're gonna chain two again. Oh, not a treble crochet, a chain two. And then we're gonna do another treble cluster. 3 treble cluster. So make sure you have 3 trebles in a cluster. And then we're moving on into working another corner space. So just follow along with me for a minute here if you like. If you think you got it down, we're pretty much going to copy what we did for that last corner onto this one. So start with the treble crochet, and then we do a chain 3, and then we do a 3 treble cluster, chain 3, and then a 3 treble cluster, and then a chain 3. So that's what consists of our corner. Just make sure it's pretty much corner, side, corner, side, corner, side. So it's alternating with all the tips of the petals. That's all we're working in, the little tips of the chain 1 in the petals. All right, now comes round 6, and we're going back to our 4th color and also our 2nd color. So this is going to be probably the hardest round so far because we're going to alternate between 2 colors. You're going to start in the corner by making a double crochet. So whether you like doing the chain 3 or the double crochets I do, go ahead and do 1 double crochet, and here's the 2nd double crochet. Now we're going to grab our 2nd color, and there's a couple methods of doing this, but I am just going to kind of undo a little bit of the double crochet that I did and pull through the 2nd color through those 2 loops. And I'm gonna do a 4 treble bobble stitch. So just make sure everything's nice and tight, and yarn over twice, and we're gonna do a 4 treble bobble stitch, and you're gonna work over both of the ends. So I'm working over like the tail end of the 2nd color, and then I'm working over the white color as well, holding it down because we have to carry it to the next stitch, which is going to be a mirror of what we just did. Oh, we're not going to pull through all these loops. We're actually going to get the white yarn, and we're going to pull through and finish the stitch with that one because we're going to go straight into using it for our next stitch. Like I said, if you have a different method, you can definitely use it for carrying over the yarn or switching colors, whatever you like. Then we're going to do a double crochet, and then another double crochet, Then we're going to work 5 half double crochets across the next 4 stitches. So once you hit the next treble crochet, so we got 1, 2, 3, 3, if the tails wouldn't get in the way, 4, and 5. And I keep forgetting that I have to switch to the blue one before I finish the stitch, so just make sure you don't get your yarns all tangled up. So I'm going to pull this one out, do it again, but instead of finishing pulling through with the white, I'm going to pull through with the blue. Another method that I tried after was putting the yarn through the loop at the top of the stitch instead of what I just did. So pretty much grabbing the blue yarn and just pulling it through the working loop yarn, and then continuously working with that one if you like. Then we're going to do this bobble stitch, the 4 treble bobble stitch. And we're just going to keep going. Now we're going to do 4 half double crochets staggered across the next 3 stitches. So just make sure to space them out good. I'm just going to keep forgetting to switch yarns before finishing the stitch. Just try and remember. So we're going to switch to blue. And then we're going to do another bobble stitch. And then we're pretty much going to mirror everything that we just did from the corner to the middle. So after this bobble stitch, it's going to be 4 half double crochets, and then once you hit that next treble crochet, you're going to do another bobble stitch, and then 5 half double crochets, 2 double crochets, a bobble stitch, and repeat. So if you keep watching the beginning part of this small portion, you'll remember what you have to do. Or just follow along with me here if you like. Until we get to the next round, I'm going to work up until the corner. My yarn got a little tangled, so I had to fix that. Just be careful with that when you're doing this. They tend to get twisted up when you keep switching off yarns, but are working on top of the other one simultaneously, so. Alright, so this is what it should look like. First side. It does look a little choppy right now, but don't worry, we're going to stretch it and it's going to look good. So this is what the round should look like. We're not going to cut our yarn yet for the white. You can cut the blue off and leave a little tail, but at the end you're going to slip stitch, and then you're going to do 2 half double crochets in the next 2 stitches. So I chain 1 and I'm going to do a half double crochet in that stitch and a half double crochet into the next stitch. And then at the top of the 4 treble bobble stitch, we're going to do 2 double crochets. And we're going to chain 2, and then in the next stitch we're going to do 2 double crochets again. This is what is going to make your corner. And then for the rest of the row, we're just going to do half double crochets. So you should have 24 half double crochets, and then we're going to put 2 double crochets at the top of the bobble stitch at the second corner, and so on and so forth. So at the end of the row, you should have 96 half double crochets, 16 double crochets, 4 2 chain space corners. So you can follow along with me for a little bit, and then we'll make it to our next round in just a minute here. Alright, and this is what it should look like. And now we're moving on to our last round. We slip stitch for the last round, and now we're just going to clean up the edges. We're going to chain 1 and do a single crochet and another single crochet. We're just going to keep single crocheting up until we get to the corner. Once we get to the corner, which is that chain 2 space from our last round, we're going to work 2 single crochets, a chain 2 space, and another 2 single crochets, and that's what's going to make our pointy little corner. And then for every single stitch around, we're going to do single crochets. So single crochets all around. Once you hit the corner, it's 2 single crochets, chain 2, 2 single crochets, and then you just keep going with single crochets. By the end of the round, you should have 128 single crochets and 4 2 chain space corners. Alright, now that we're done, I like to pin my granny squares on a board. So pin yours up. Once you steam it and take it off the board, it should look like this when you're done. Please like and subscribe so I can drop more content like this every other week. If you know anybody that might want to try this granny square out, please send it to them. Thanks for watching. Until next time.